Welcome back to Jinx Ain't Nothing Wrong, and now we have all the cards from DREAMLIT Paths. And though this has mostly been switched over to like a Path of Champions kind of channel, but I still cover the game. Will I maybe do, who knows, maybe I'll do a PvP video like I used to. It really depends. It just depends if I see something that's like, I really want to test that out. I want to see how it works. That's usually how it goes. They did drop the entire gallery. Here we go. It looks like a lot of cards, but I did go and look at it. A lot of them are the story cards. Like, just for example, you get this story card, and like each thing is its own thing. So it's going to be a lot of complicated, and it's going to be kind of interesting to see how people are going to play through this expansion, because it looks like there's like one card will generate like 3 other things. So it's like this one card might generate this card, and this card generates that card, and this is the 3rd step, and this is the Light of Demacia, and it can do these 3 things. And it's going to be really interesting how people get used to all these different changes in standard and in ranked. But only if, like I said, if I see something very interesting, then I'll be like, yo, let's go. So let's go from the tippity top, and we have the Dragon Song Dreamer. Each round, the first time you invoke, summon a Dragonling. So this would be exclusive like per card. So that's actually pretty cool. Like, get a Dragonling. If you don't know, Dragonling is obviously the it's the 2/1 lifesteal unit, and this is a 3-cost card. So I would say that that's pretty damn useful, giving you a little bit of a healing. But the thing is that it's a 3-cost card, and you have to invoke. And this is, to me, more of a POC type of card, something that you would look into, because I feel like it's easier to invoke in POC. But if you have Zoe's really amazing with a card like this. So overall, pretty decent card, nothing too crazy to write home about. Next up is going to be the Yeti Handler. To play me, discard 1, so we got some discard synergy. And when I'm summoned, summon an enraged Yeti. That's awesome. The reason why it's just crazy, it's just good, because when I'm summoned, so you know, if we're Noxious, we're in Noxus and we're starting that dream stuff, because we've seen so much with the dream, right? We would have ability to summon this. It's a 1/2. And then it summons a Yeti, which is weird that it's a Yeti Handler. I was about to say, why is it not a Yeti card? It's a Yeti Handler. So yes, it makes sense that he's not a Yeti himself. So it is pretty cool. I like that. It's a pretty cool. I was gonna just loop myself in a sentence, but I like it because it has a summon effect, and we know that anything that says when I'm summoned is crazy to look out for. We're also gotta be looking out for stuff that might be Elder Dragon. We also, like the Runeterra champions, we gotta be looking out for anything that might be part of. But yeah, cool card. Let's keep going. There's a lot of cards and sub cards, right? So this is a focus speed Demacian cards for Garden Artifact, looking like we in the it's a Demacian card that's summoning a Sandstone Charger, which is funny. Then give your allies Challenger this round. I really like that, and it's funny because it's a 6-cost Demacian card, so it would be like something that the old Lux would like, right? But it's not. But I do like it's a pretty much a the Sandstone Charge, I think it's like a 6/2 or something like that. And then the other important part is to give them all challengers, so you can do some trades. There's a lot of implications with this card. Not implications, but a lot of things you could do with the card. I don't think you'd see it because of how high it is, but it's a spell, so it's not like you're using all unit mana. You could play this technically on turn 3, and you can swing for some good damage. And with the challenger attached to it, which if it got broken, that's the first thing that they'll take off of it. You can do some really good trades, right? Because the Sandstone Charger has some attack on that boy. All right, so next up is going to be the Mercenary Manners. Steal an enemy follower with 3 or less health this round. Can't play if you have 6 allies or landmarks already. So we have stealing a enemy follower with less health. So health is really important because it can be lowered. I mean, so can the attack. The strength can be lowered as well, power. But damn, and you only have it for the round. You could still override it later if you fill up the board a little bit more. The card by itself, I feel like, is ass, but I feel like you could probably do something cheeky with it. Steal their follower, then utilize it, sacrifice it. But this is in Yu-Gi-Oh, so it's like it's very hard to do that in Legends of Runeterra. So I feel like it's a cute card, but overall pretty cheeks, if I have to say so myself. Next up is Monstrous Eruption. Grow an ally's health to 5 this round. They have something similar like this, and it's a Bandle City card as well. Again, I really don't care for it too much. There are ways that could help you, but it's I don't know. This card is probably not going to see the light of day, and it's also a token card, so it's 5 power. Okay, so I must grow an ally. Okay, so this is the original card, so I can pick power or health. That's actually better than the other one. That's kind of funny. So I must have did them in the wrong order. It's fine. Next up is Ionia's Steel Gale. Ooh, that's a cool picture. Stun an enemy and stun it again next round. So it's kind of like we've seen that a lot. It's just like stun an enemy, and then it will say with other cards, but it was always like to a follower. So now you can actually do it to a champion with this card specifically. It's a double stun on a 3-cost card for Ionia, and Yasuo coming back to rotation for the rotation boys. It's pretty good. But if you're running stun in your deck, or stun's important in your deck, you're definitely putting this in. It's a double stun. There's stun for the attack round, and stun for the defensive round. Busted. Next up, Glacial Fell. Grow an ally's health equal to its power and formidable. Oh, grant an ally health equal to its power and formidable, then set its power to 0. And it's a 3-cost card. I like this a lot. This is pretty cool. So you pretty much make sure that it has good stats. So you grant an ally health equal to the power. So it normally is going to have a lot of power. Then you change that power into HP, make it formidable, then set its power to 0. I like it. I like it a lot. Because you could take something, especially if it, oh no, if it got frostbite, it wouldn't work. But even, actually, yeah, if it got frostbite but still had a decent amount of HP, you could still use it, and then now it's using its HP, so I guess that's cool too. And also granting formidable inside of Freljord, where it already had a pretty good like tanky stats with especially with like Udyr and stuff like that. That's pretty good. I like that card a lot. Next up is Sunborn Summoning. Pick one of 3 champions that started in your deck and draw it. What the hell is that? One of 3 champions, so that's pretty much like, I mean, it's 3 costs, but it's a thing. Now, in the history of cards like this, they usually don't run it unless it's like you have nothing better to put into your deck. So out of one of the 3 champions, you just, and it's a Shurima card. It probably won't see the light of day, but it is pretty interesting to see that they made the card. Again, something, POC card. This is definitely, like, in my opinion, like a really cool POC card, especially because sometimes you can't draw your champion in POC. Next up is Malmutation, and it's going to be in PNZ. Pick an allied follower, summon 2 hungry Owlcats, then transform allies into exact copies of a chosen ally. Then transform allies, all your allies. So you have an allied follower. Oh, this is insane. Okay, now that the picture makes sense. I see, this is a card you'd have fun with, right? So you have an ally, you summon 2 additional allies, and then you transform them into the one that you chose before. So you're going to get, at the very least, 3 copies, no, sorry, at least 2 copies of the ally that you chose, but there'll be 3 units on the field. That could be insane, depending on what that ally follower is. It has to be a follower, though, cannot be a champion. So, I like this card. I would definitely want to see some Malmutation builds going on. It's 8 mana, though, and it's very highly interruptible, so obviously they can just ping or kill that unit, so that's very annoying, but it doesn't, like, this doesn't say pick an ally follower and then, so summon 2 allies. I actually wonder if the follower dies, it shouldn't, in Yu-Gi-Oh rules, it shouldn't need to stay on the field. It was already chosen, it was targeted, but I'm pretty sure that if the thing dies, it doesn't know what to copy anymore. It loses track of itself. Then we have Kyrox. Whenever a non-tentacle ally dies, or last breath, when it dies itself, spawn 2. So something else dies. Oh, this is a Alawi card. That's pretty interesting. Alawi card in Shadow Isles at that. Now, what's really cool is that without anything being a whatever, just the card existing itself is actually very strong. If you have a bunch of ephemerals, you then are spawning 2. So this whatever you're putting out is getting plus the tentacle itself. That's now the first tentacle. And then all tentacles that are supposed to spawn on top of it will literally just go +2, +2, +2, +2 every time that you're doing that. So you could, without even mentioning Alawi, that's actually pretty cool. And I like that it's Shadow Isles, so it's like dealing with the Ruination and stuff like that. And I like that. If you can get overwhelmed on that tentacle as it keeps growing, like you can keep all your ephemeral units off to the left, and then spawn 2, spawn 2, spawn 2 every time each one dies, and that tentacle gets so strong. That's a really cool card. That's a really, really cool card. I like it a lot. Then you go Shadow Owls, Alawi, Bilgewater, but like I feel like you never really, that's probably never been a deck ever, but that seems pretty cool. Next up is going to be, oh, this is the token card, so summon an exact copy of the unit stored inside, and then the other option is something else. Okay, it's from this card. 3 cost, Freljord card, another epic. Obliterate a unit in hand to summon a stone-carved spire that has countdown equal to its cost and summon an exact copy of the unit, minimum 1. So that was the card we just saw. So that's awesome. So 3 cost card where you could put a big card inside of it, and not only that, since it is a landmark, you can then duplicate it or lower the cost of the. This is an amazing card. Brynhir the Thunder Song is absolutely giga busted. That is an amazing card. Holy, this is a great card. Because, like, let's say you put Elder Dragon in it, right? Because Elder Dragon, I think, Freljord is a pretty popular deck. You could do that. The only problem is that if the card doesn't have a summon effect, or, like, Elder Dragon has a play effect, obviously, then it's not as good. You want to kind of, like, probably put something in a summon effect, or you just put something that's just really good once it hits the field. Or Engine card. This card, and you're playing a 3-cost 3/3, so it's not like you're losing too much for doing it. So this is actually pretty sick. I like this a lot. I wonder if the opponent can see what the card is. Probably can. But yeah, this card's absolutely amazing. Next up, the Blighted Battle Axe. Doxian equipment. Round end, if my bearer didn't attack this round, granted gloom. He gets depressed if he doesn't attack. I like that. That's a pretty cool card. I mean, 2-cost 3/3, and round end, it is actually, so you're going to get -1/-1 on every defensive turn, right? Unless you have a way to give it a free attack or something like that, but still pretty good. I would say 100% more of a POC card because of how it works. I think that it's easier to manipulate it with POC by giving stuff free attack, or like giving a free attack or rallying every turn because you got the rally thing, or if you're in the Garen run or any of the ones like Set, I think also has a rally effect with his star powers. So I could see something like that in that nature. But as far as like, are you gonna put this in your deck? I think so. So you start off hopefully on your attacking turn. You attack, you have +3/+3. Their turn goes, and then it goes down to +2/+2, and it's only the bearer, right? So this always has +3/+3, so pretty cool. Next up is the Eager Decadent, and I have +1 for each card you've drawn this round. Cheeks. Cool, but cheeks. It has, you're not, this is a POC card, 100%. We're just gonna pass by that. Veiled Blessings, grant an ally to spirit, nice and easy, and this is in Targon though. So what is it? So we have Lilia with a bunch of spirit stuff, and then you also have Demacia with it. So that's kind of interesting. Ionia and I messed that up already. Ionia and Demacia, and they have a Targon card. So if you want to bounce in, I know some people were thinking about Lilia and Talia. Well, not Talia. Talia is Shurima, but maybe Lilia and Malphite. It was that. So maybe this is where you're getting your rocks off at. I think the card's decent in general, but yeah, who knows. Next up is the Poro card. Ultra Soft Poro. Heal your Nexus 1 for each ally with a subtype. Decent. I don't think you even want this in a Poro deck. It's like for a Nico deck kind of thing. This is a POC card. It's a POC card. Oh, I like the design of this card. This card looks sick. She look kind of spicy. God damn, girl. Emperor Reconstructor, Sharp Sight. So they're making Sharp Sight like its own keyword, which is, I still wonder how that works with Kaiser, because before it actually counted as a keyword. So Sharp Sight, grant an allied landmark when I'm destroyed, revive me. That can synergize with the other thing, right? When I'm destroyed, revive me. Like, me as in her or me as in the landmark? I'm assuming the landmark, so the landmark gets played twice. That's how I would assume it. Either or, still pretty good. I think no matter what it is, she has pretty good stats for it too. So I like it either or. So a landmark that you want to happen again. It could be like the Rock Hopper. You can have it happen again. So you play it on 3. You play the Rock Hopper on 2. They don't summon anything, and then you play that. They take the vulnerable, and then it happens again. Same thing, or with the Grumpy Rock Bear. That's pretty good too. Pretty good, and obviously really good for if you go in sleep meta. Now you have Talia. Now you have Talia Lilia, right? With this card, you get it comes back, but it would be an empty landmark. So probably ass. But all right, next one. Soaring Cartographer. So this is a token card. Updraft 1 to draw another card that costs more than the card you updrafted. That's sick. That's an option. And then updraft 1 to draw another card that costs less than the card you updrafted. And I'm sure that here's the real card, and it's you choose either or. So if you're updrafting 1, let's say the card costs 5, do you want a card that costs more or less than that card? Easy to understand. P and Z as well. I like this card a lot. Very simple to understand card. I think it's really sick. Definitely I don't know about must have, but definitely a really good card. I'm trying to fly through these because it's a lot of cards. It's a reduce the cost of a random card in hand by 5. God. And then Smoke Visions. To play, discard 1, invoke a celestial card that costs 7 more. We'll see what card it comes from. It comes from the story card, Smoke Scaled Host. To activate, discard 1, act 1 or 2. So you could choose to do it twice. So this is a pretty cool version of like what is it, Targon's Peak? Reduce the cost of a random card by 5, and then you could potentially, okay, so 1 and 2 you get to do that, and then at Act 3 you could do that to reduce the cost. That's insane. And then because by that time you can have you'll have a celestial card in hand, right? And reduce it by 5 kind of pays back its cost, right? But I do like that it says to activate, discard a card, right? So you could also synergize with discard. It's not, you're not discarding a random card either. And the invoke is pretty good, and it can synergize with that other invoke thing. You can get a little draggling for it, which is pretty cool. So we got a consistent invoke on a body or on a landmark. So that's really good. This card is really nice. But I also noticed that this is not a token itself. It's a token within itself. So, or did I? Okay, I must have put it twice. Okay, there it is. It has the thing. I must have messed that up somehow. Next up, the Poro Captain. Give an ally +1/+1 this round for each ally with a subtype. And then manifest a follower that has a different subtype than the ones in play. And I think it comes from this. The Poro Parade. There it is. Manifest a follower, as we just read. So about more subtype stuff too. So pretty much more Nico support. It's almost like they're just telling you, hey, we're building more stuff for Nico. A Shuriman thing here. What is that icon? When you summon an ally this round, grave it +2. So it's the other card just with a body. Sand strategy predict. And where is this all coming from? Summon 2 sand shorter. Where is this all coming from? The Emperor's Army. What a amazing artwork on that card. Jesus, that should have been my thumbnail, brother. For the set. Check out that Shuriman video if you haven't. It's been an absolutely epic grand finale. It's insane. So you could choose nothing. You're choosing to do one. So as you can see, the way that they drop the videos is kind of weird. So summon 2 sand soldiers at part 1, and the next chart you just use it to predict. And the next one, when you summon an ally this round, give it +2, and then I'm assuming the story just disappears after that, right? So boom, boom. I'll make sure I'll double check to make sure that I didn't mess anything up. Slingshot sniper, give an enemy, can't block. So where's the other card? I just need the, okay, there it is. So another story. Now I wonder, are they gonna drop a 4th champion that revolves around stories? Maybe not now, but maybe they'll do it later. Like, is there a story keeper champion in the game in League of Legends? I don't think so. So in 1 and 2, give an ally, you just boost an ally, then the third one get the block, I guess. That's cute. It's okay. It's like the stories are really interesting because you don't have to use them, right? Like you can kind of use them when you feel like it. So I do like how they work. So there goes prize with 3 coins, Jesus, or fully heal an ally, or convincing slash, or you get an actual strike. And it's coming from this two-story building, two-story Bilgewater card, and it's the first act is an ally and an enemy strike each other. They can't drop below 1 health from the strike, so that's just a free strike. Jack loves that. Then you can fully heal an ally pretty much the next turn, and then after that you can actually just create 3 coins in hand straight up. This is a really good story. Jeez, I'm pretty sure kept clicking it, and then we have another one. So they have this is just all these little story cards. So another story coming into for PNZ. You have updraft 1 to draw 1, and then you just have a regular draw, and it has a focus speed, so you have to immediately drop it. I'm assuming that's what that means. All right, and then we have the Snooze Bottoms Bequest. Pick an ally, then pick 1 or 3 followers that cost 2 more and transform into it. Oh, we got some more transform synergy. You guys know me. I love me some transform, and it's coming from this card, the story, the wings giving. So the first 1 or 2 parts are 2 transforms. So first act, you pick an ally, then pick 3 followers, transform into it, and then you could do it again. Boom, and then the third act is pick. It costs 1 more, and then the last one is pick 1 and call. So this is awesome if you're, especially your POC, you have Nidalee, right? But you can also just play with Nidalee, and you guys already know that I like Nidalee. And in BNZ, you have Chief Nakatak, and you can do some transform. Now you have a story that helps you transform. I'm all about it. And I think that was the. Then we have this one, and then we have Rolly. Wait, who's offline now? She probably read all the cards. Shout outs to Rolly. Snooey went back online. he was streaming before, and you guys already know I leave Snooey up when it's any like release stuff, because I know he's gonna like start screaming in my ear that it's dropped. So it's just interesting that he came back online to review the cards. Shout outs to him. So just gonna X out that so I can confuse them and make sure I didn't miss anything so far as I'm scrolling down. I was gonna do that, but as you saw, my bar at the top was getting insane. So let's see. This card was already revealed, so boom, first act, very costly one at that. It's one of the more costly stories. I like the stories that are low mana, right? The low mana story makes more sense. But heal 3 summons Spriteling, then grant all allies everywhere. But it has way stronger effects. I do like this. I do like this. And you should be able to destroy it because they are considered like landmarks. Now let me just briefly, like, these are considered landmarks. Okay. They are still considered landmarks. All right, so let's keep going. Next up, we have the Mr. Root, and I could probably just go like this. Okay, boom. Cool. Mr. Root, when I'm summoned, draw 1. Nice. And then, oh my god, this card's insane. Ionia draw, ladies and gentlemen. And it has Spirit, so it's a 1-2. 2 cost, and then you keep putting it to sleep. You can keep drawing. Insane. That's so crazy. This is Lilia's Spell, which I really feel like it's regular thing. Sleep Boo, we already know about this. And then we have, okay. Wait, where is this coming from? Root Canopy? Gene Dust Branch, Sleep, and that's a skill. So I'm assuming, see how this is a 1-2, but it's just this one card. Draw 1, reduce the cost of cards in your hand by 1. And then that's how that story goes. That's pretty sick. Draw 1 and then do that. But for 4 mana, I don't know. That's kind of weird. They also have this, reduce the cost of cards. And oh, so it's this. It's just the skill version of these. So it does a skill. So that's what it's kind of trying to show you. This is a skill that comes out. Is that like... Oh, wait a minute, dude. That changes this. So these are skills that come on the stack. This is a skill. This is a skill. Gene! Some of them aren't skills. All right, so you can see this one. No, but this one's a skill. So that that changes a lot to me. As you guys know, I am the Jin fanatic. I did not notice that these are skills. A lot of these things that are popping up are stuff that go into the stack that are deniable. That actually changes a lot. It really does. Because if you see them doing something that you're like, no, 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 you could deny it with a, not just with that, there's other deny skills as well. But that's interesting. Definitely changed. I'm like 20 something minutes in the video and I did not notice that, because now I see this and I see that the circle means skills. So see skills, sleep an enemy. That's coming from probably something here, right? Yep, the sleep an ally. Sorry, from this story. Is that titties? Look like titties. Anyways, I'm so sorry. If you're watching this thinking it's PG-13, you've definitely stumbled upon the wrong channel. The Blooding Boom is definitely the card, like I said. Sleeping Unit, obviously really good. Summon a unit, exact copy of the sleeping unit. Then, oh, that's just the actual landmark of when you go to sleep, right? And then the Sprite Mother, which is crazy. I can't even wait. It's such a, they might raise the cost of it, right? I think that's what's gonna happen, because when you summon it, it gets it's gonna become a 3/2, right? As soon as it's summoned, grant allied Springlet and herself. She doesn't summon anything herself, but then you just keep stacking it, and then you summon Spritelings. I feel like that's a deck with on its own, like a Sprite Mother, and you summon a bunch of stuff that has Spritelings, and the Spritelings get out of control, and that's within Ionia. And what's crazy is that you can go into Shadow Owls, right? Shadow Owls, and then, like, what is it? Soul Cleave, whatever it is. Soul Cleave the Sprite Mother, or Soul Cleave Springlings and go for a crazy attack. Soul Cleave a bunch of stuff and then put it into a and then sleep it. Like, yeah, there's definitely some nuts crap. This is the another skill. So there's actually a lot of skills. Jin will be eating good. Jin wherever the stories, I have to see. I've been glazing through it. Obviously, I wonder where the most stories are, and maybe Jin in a story deck, and we can tell a story about Jin. What do you guys think about that? Let me know in the comment section below. Are we telling a story with Jin? That might be one of my first videos, because I did not know that all these landmarks have skills attached to them, which is insane. The Sprite Dance is giga busted as well. And it's a lot of fast speed spells that I'm seeing here too. A lot of more skills, like something like this. I can just put this in a Jin deck if I wanted to. Most of the units themselves, but I'm pretty sure that Jin reads that it has to be a follower, so I can't put any story in there. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying by that. I could put this in Ophelius Gardener. I can put that in a Jin deck. Wouldn't make sense to do it, but I could do it if I wanted to. And then next up we have, ooh, that's a pretty cool captive audience. Where is that coming from? It's coming from this. So like, look at the 3 skills coming from a story. right? So we have killing unit with total power and health is 5, so a weakish unit, not super weak, but a weakish unit, especially with Doom, right? And then you have drain the enemy nexus 2, heal 2, and then summon an exact copy of an ally. It's ephemeral and 1/1, which could still, oh my god, this is actually, and the crazy part, this is in Shadow Isle, so it actually goes with the thing that I was just saying, Soul Cleave and Ionia stuff right there. So I don't know, this might have brought me back, brothers. I might have to do a couple PvP videos here and there, mixing up with the POC. It is a Riot based channel that I run, but I know sometimes I get consumed. But some of this stuff has to be tested. It really does. Next up is a story with Mordekaiser stuff. Pick an ally follower, create an ephemeral copy of it in hand with +1/+1. You can do it twice, and then on the third thing, you revive the strongest dead ally follower and grant it ephemeral. I wonder what if you do that with the ephemeral guy that can't turn ephemeral, so he just gets stats. That'd be pretty interesting. Infinite thing, Mr. Vex, you're a mean one, Mr. Vex. Oh, they actually call it Mr. Vex, Mrs. Vex, and then Little Gloomus, the family reunion. So they actually titled the skills, which is pretty interesting to know. We've seen this card already, but it's cooler that each skill, because it's a skill, has a title attached to it. So we've seen this one. Empire, this is the skill Withering Affection. This card can also be put in the Jin deck. This card can also be put in a Elder Dragon deck. Let's keep that in mind as well. Boost, Uncle Milty. Grant me 2 spirit once you completed a story. Oh, so Milty telling a story. So this, I mean, it's pretty slow, but like it's pretty interesting that he has something that could synergize with stories. Pretty cool. And this is Ala, whatever. We were kind of curious what the hell she does. And she's actually, you can either grant it spirit or grant gloom. You pick one. So pick one. Or is it, wait, that's kind of crazy. So only the gloom is a skill. Granting the spirit is not a skill. Interesting. Grotesque gift, which is destroys anything, destroys Deathless, destroys any little small guys that come out, they just instantly die. And then you probably want to give this more spirit and keep this alive just to constantly have things die. So I like that a lot. Grant enemies gloom. Cool, grant unit gloom. Shadow, who's not in Vex's main deck, even though it's like literally attached to his body. If it's just because it's a boat, I feel like they could just take the boat part out of it and put it in his deck. It's just weird. Certain characters are attached to certain things. So like the fact that Vex and Shadow are literally like they talk to each other, quote unquote, when they're playing and stuff like that, and it summons Vex, but since it summons Vex, it can't go in a POC deck, which is just kind of annoying, just really annoying. Gloom Stare, this is Vex's actual skills. Smoldering Smirk, we already know about that. Dreamlit Elena, do we know about this? When I'm summoned, oh yeah, this is the one, and for each one they don't have a space, they get 2 spirit. Awesome, love that. Petricite, where is this coming from? Petricite Hall. So one, ally captures a unit, so you just have that has to be a skill. So it's really cool. It's like a skill on a landmark that does skills. Curse your opponent with suppression, and then obliterate all cards captured by allies. Holy shit! Tom, where are you, boy? I guess that makes you the guts. Hey, big fella. That's interesting. It's that's a pretty good thing, because the first thing and the first and the third thing synergize with each other. You can choose when to suppress them, and they can't do anything, you know. And that's kind of weird. It's just 3/3, and then this one's a 4 cost. So I'm assuming this is 4. The skills or whatever are 3. Grasping Hands, and then we have this one when I'm summoning grant all other allies spirit, whatever. Where we at? Like Demacia, same thing. We know about that. 2 of them are skills, so it's just kind of crazy. This thing coming from, this is the Bright Blood. This coming from this, right? Yep. Tree Sprite, another skill. This one you could actually put in the Jin deck, right? Just straight up. Tree Sprite, sorry, if you want that for some reason. And that is it, ladies and gentlemen. All these other cards we already seen. So what do you guys think? I'm just thinking like, so most of the cards in the thing are stories. There's a few cards sprinkled here and there, but it's definitely like written by the stories. Like what you're going to be putting into the decks. Some of them seem extremely strong, but I have to tell you, like, it definitely is a interesting thing. I know some people were like kind of complaining about the aspect of stories, right? Like the story, sorry, not stories, but like the Gloom Spirit, very basic. It's only buffs. It's only stats based stuff, but the stories are pretty cool. They actually maybe should have just led with this, and I would have loved to see a champion that kind of synergized with it, even if Lilia synergized with stories, because she's talking about nightmares and dreams and nightmares are kind of the same, like similar things. And now you definitely want a character that says, once you completed 3 stories, I level up. Once you complete 2 stories, I level up. And I don't know who that would be. That would have probably been like a good thing for like Zillion. Maybe they'll remake Zillion, or maybe make a unit that is involved with story time or time manipulation or something like that. So all in all, I am super satisfied with the cards that are dropped here. I think that this is going to add very interesting play patterns. There's a couple, but see, the thing is that there's only like 3 or 4 decks I think that I would really be interesting, like Malmutation, this card, like a couple of cards that I just want to see in action. I don't need to make a whole video on them, but they are cards that I would like, if it's interesting enough, I would make a video on it. I just have to see them in action, or play it a little bit and then be like, oh, this is actually pretty cool. Or it might turn out that, oh, it's ass. And then some of them are going to be interesting. How are the stories going to be introduced into POC? Because they can make it that they don't show up at all. And because there's going to definitely be augments and relics and things like that incorporate some of this stuff. Like, because it's a landmark that doesn't have a countdown that you don't want to destroy, so it's like it's really weird. And then is landmark destruction going to become a bigger thing? So I don't know. I'm definitely excited. I'm looking for my thumbnail. Where's my thumbnail at? I gotta pick one of these cards for the thumbnail. But cards are awesome. Let me know what card you thought was the best. Let me see the full art of this card. Oh my god. That should have been the thumbnail, brothers and sisters. That should have been the thumbnail. Holy, what an amazing looking card for a Shurima. But it's actually not the card that I think is like one of the coolest though. I would probably go, what was the card? What would I give the MVP, I would say? I'd have to look through all of them again. Whatever is on the thumbnail is the MVP card. That's the card that I thought was absolutely the best. Even though this full art probably looks nuts. That looks crazy. That looks crazy, man. Talk about nightmares. Oh man, that is nightmare fuel. It reminds me of Frightfur from Yu-Gi-Oh. Let me know if you guys know about that. You probably don't. You're too young. You don't know about that Yu-Gi-Oh arc. Anyway, that's gonna be it for me. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Look forward to the expansion. The expansion comes out Wednesday. I'll be at work. If I could potentially get a video out before I have to go to work, I will. But if not, you know what it is. But I'll probably still put up another run for you guys. To fill in the space. And until then, I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out that streaming video. Peace.